Good morning, everyone. It's so lovely to see you all here today, taking time to invest in your health and well-being. I always say that the body was designed to heal itself, but we must give it the right conditions to do so. Today, I want to talk to you about a humble little seed, so small, yet so mighty, that can help strengthen your bones and muscles, especially after the age of 60. You see, as we get older, our bones naturally lose density. Our muscles can weaken if we don't nourish them properly. Many people think this is just old age. But really, it's a sign that the body needs better building materials. And nature provides these building blocks so abundantly. So, what is this remarkable seed, When we think about strong bones and healthy muscles, most people immediately picture calcium supplements, maybe a glass of milk, or some pharmaceutical prescription for bone density. But very few think of one of nature's most powerful remedies, the tiny sesame seed. It's so small that it's easy to overlook. Yet inside this humble seed is a treasure chest of minerals and nutrients that your body desperately needs, especially as you age. Now, let's talk about why that matters. By the time we reach 60 and beyond, our bones begin to lose density, not because the body is failing, but because the input of essential nutrients has been gradually depleted over time. Many people are simply not getting what their body needs to maintain strong bones. We often consume processed foods, sugary snacks, and foods that leach minerals from our bones rather than feed them. But when we go back to whole, living foods like sesame seeds, we begin to rebuild. Sesame seeds are one of the richest plant-based sources of calcium on the planet. Just 1 tablespoon of these tiny seeds contains around 88 milligrams of calcium. Compare that to a glass of milk, which has around 300 milligrams. But here's the key: the calcium in sesame seeds comes in a form that the body can recognize and use without the inflammatory proteins or hormones that dairy often brings. The plant-based calcium in sesame seeds is accompanied by other natural co-factors, magnesium, phosphorus, and trace minerals, which help your body actually absorb and utilize the calcium efficiently. Now, calcium doesn't work alone. Think of calcium as the bricks for building bone. You also need the mortar. And that's where magnesium comes in. Magnesium is needed to move calcium into the bones and keep it out of the soft tissues where it doesn't belong. Without enough magnesium, the calcium can't do its job properly. And once again, sesame seeds come through. They're also rich in magnesium, providing a beautiful balance that nature intended. That's the beauty of God's creation. Everything is perfectly packaged in these natural foods. But we're not done yet. Sesame seeds also provide zinc, an often overlooked mineral when it comes to bone health. Zinc helps stimulate the cells that build bone and inhibits the ones that break it down. It's particularly helpful in preventing bone loss, which is why it's so important for anyone over 60 to make sure they're getting enough. And what better way than through a food that's natural, safe, and time-tested. And what's truly beautiful about sesame seeds is their versatility. You don't need to take them like medicine. You can enjoy them in your food. You can sprinkle them over your breakfast porridge or muesli, stir them into smoothies, or even make your own tahini. a creamy sesame seed paste used for centuries in Middle Eastern and Mediterranean cultures. Those cultures knew the value of these seeds. In fact, some of the longest living populations on Earth still use sesame regularly in their diet. Now, I want to touch on a very important point. The form of the seed matters. Whole sesame seeds can be difficult for some people to digest, especially if they're just sprinkled on food and not chewed properly. The nutrients are locked inside the hard outer shell. That's why I often recommend lightly toasting or grinding the seeds before consuming them, or using them in the form of tahini. When you grind or soak them, you break down the outer hull and release those precious minerals so the body can absorb them better. It's such a simple step, but it makes a world of difference. Also, if you're worried about oxalates, which are compounds that can bind minerals in some plant foods, don't worry too much about sesame seeds. They have a good balance of mineral content and aren't high in anti-nutrients like some other seeds or nuts. And if you're eating a varied, bland, plant-rich diet with plenty of greens and pure water, your body will process them beautifully. Now, let's bring this all together. Imagine your body as a temple. Every single day, your cells are rebuilding, regenerating, and replacing old tissues. After 60, this regeneration slows down, but it doesn't stop. The body never gives up on you, but it needs your cooperation. When you give it living foods like sesame seeds, full of real calcium, magnesium, and zinc, you're giving your body the raw materials it needs to rebuild strong bones and support healthy muscles. So don't be fooled by the size of the sesame seed. It may be small, but it's mighty. It's one of nature's best gifts for anyone looking to strengthen their bones naturally, safely, and gently. No need for expensive supplements or harsh medications. Sometimes the best solutions are the simplest, and they've been right under our nose all along. So my encouragement to you today is this: start adding sesame seeds to your daily meals. Make it a habit. Let your food be your medicine. When you nourish your bones and muscles with the right tools, even after 60, you'll be amazed at what your body can do. Healing is possible at any age when you partner with the healing power of nature. When people come to me and ask, "Barbara, I want to improve my bones and muscles, but I don't want to change everything overnight. Where do I start?" I always smile and tell them, start with something simple. Start with something that's easy to add to your daily routine. And sesame seeds are one of the easiest and most effective places to begin. Now, the beautiful thing about these little seeds is that they don't require any fancy preparation. You don't need special cooking skills. You don't need expensive equipment or to go on some restrictive diet. Sesame seeds are wonderfully versatile. You can incorporate them into your meals in the most natural and delightful ways. One of the simplest methods, and one I personally love, is just sprinkling them over your breakfast. Whether it's a bowl of warm porridge, muesli, or even just a piece of whole grain toast with a spread of avocado, a tablespoon of sesame seeds adds a gentle crunch and a nutty, comforting flavor. It's a wonderful way to begin the day, giving your bones and muscles that boost of calcium, magnesium, and zinc from the very first meal. And if you're someone who enjoys smoothies in the morning, sesame seeds blend in beautifully. Just a spoonful into your blender, along with your fruits, greens, and maybe a bit of flax or chia, and there you have it. A mineral-rich, healing drink that supports your body at the cellular level. Remember, the seeds must be blended well, especially if they're raw, so that the body can access the nutrients inside. Otherwise, they may pass through undigested. Blending breaks down that hard outer shell and makes those healing minerals more bioavailable. Another lovely way to enjoy sesame is in the form of tahini. Now, tahini is simply ground sesame seeds, often raw or lightly roasted, turned into a creamy paste like spread. It's a staple in Middle Eastern cuisine, and for good reason. Not only is it delicious, but it's also deeply nourishing. You can use tahini as a base for salad dressings, mix it into hummus, spread it on whole grain bread, or drizzle it over roasted vegetables. I often make a simple dressing at home with tahini, lemon juice, a bit of garlic and water. It's creamy, satisfying, and loaded with minerals that support bone strength and nerve function. If you like baking, you'll be happy to know that sesame seeds can also be added to homemade bread, crackers, muffins, or even sprinkled on top of buns before baking. When toasted, they give off a lovely aroma and a satisfying crunch. Many traditional cultures have included sesame seeds in their breads for centuries, and they've reaped the benefits of strong bones and long lives because of it. But don't stop at breakfast or baking. Sesame seeds can be part of your lunch and dinner too. Add them to stir fries, rice dishes, or homemade granola. Mix them into your vegetable patties, or coat your fish or tofu with sesame before pan searing. There are so many delicious possibilities. What I encourage people to do is find a few meals you already enjoy and then simply add sesame seeds into them. No need to change your whole diet. Just enhance what you already love with this natural medicine in disguise. And don't forget, black sesame seeds are also an option. They're slightly more earthy in taste, but incredibly rich in nutrients, even more so in some cases than the white ones. In Chinese medicine, black sesame seeds are revered for strengthening the kidneys, nourishing the blood, and keeping the hair and bones strong. They are especially valued for older individuals who want to retain vitality and flexibility. You can find both white and black sesame in most health food shops and even regular supermarkets these days. For those who struggle with chewing or digesting seeds, perhaps due to age or digestive issues, I recommend lightly roasting them or grinding them into a powder with a spice grinder or mortar and pestle. You can then stir that powder into yogurt, sprinkle over soups, or mix into your baking. It's so gentle, yet so effective. Now, one question I get quite often is, how much should I eat daily? And the answer is simple. Start with 1 tablespoon per day. That's it. Just 1 tablespoon of sesame seeds gives you a significant amount of calcium, magnesium, and good fats. It's not about quantity, it's about consistency. Every day, giving your body just a little of what it needs can add up to big changes over time. It's also worth mentioning that sesame seeds contain healthy oils, rich in unsaturated fats, including omega-6 fatty acids, which help reduce inflammation in the joints and support healthy skin, hair, and brain function. So, while you're nourishing your bones and muscles, you're also supporting many other vital systems in the body. Nature never gives a gift for just one purpose. Her remedies are always multitaskers. The takeaway is this: improving your health doesn't need to be complicated. Sometimes all it takes is a small change, like adding sesame seeds to the meals you already eat. No fuss, no stress. No need to uproot your entire diet, just a simple natural addition that works with your body, not against it. So the next time you're preparing your breakfast, lunch, or dinner, take a moment to reach for those sesame seeds. They're small, yes, but they are mighty. And when used consistently, they can help you build stronger bones, firmer muscles, and a more resilient body, even well after 60. Now, I want to gently remind you of something important, something we often overlook in today's fast-paced world. And that is, while sesame seeds are indeed a wonderful, powerful food, they are just one part of a much bigger picture. You see, the body is not built from one nutrient or one food alone. The human body, this extraordinary machine, needs a variety of materials to rebuild, repair, and thrive. It's like constructing a house. You wouldn't use only bricks. You need cement, timber, nails, pipes, wiring, and a strong foundation. It's exactly the same with your bones and muscles. One seed can be the spark, but the whole lifestyle is what fuels the transformation. Let's begin with something that is freely available to us all. Sunlight. This golden gift is absolutely vital for bone strength because it enables your body to produce vitamin D. Without vitamin D, you cannot absorb calcium effectively. You could eat all the sesame seeds and green vegetables in the world, but if you're deficient in vitamin D, that calcium may never make its way into your bones. So what do I recommend? Just 15 to 20 minutes of early morning sunlight on the skin, ideally on your arms, face, or legs, without sunscreen and without sunglasses. This simple act can do more for your bones than many people realize. Next comes leafy green vegetables. And this is something I always emphasize in every talk I give. Green leaves are nature's medicine. They are full of magnesium, calcium, vitamin K, and living enzymes that support bone building and muscle repair. They also alkalize the body, which is crucial because an acidic environment can pull calcium out of the bones to neutralize excess acid. So when you eat kale, spinach, bok choy, mustard greens, rocket, or even wild greens like dandelion, you're not just feeding your hunger. You're feeding your cells, your bones, your blood. But remember, nutrition doesn't stop at just calcium or magnesium. The whole food matrix matters. We need good quality protein to build muscle. Muscle mass is what holds your bones in place and protects them from fracture. After the age of 60, it's even more important to get enough protein because muscle mass naturally begins to decline. Now, I'm not talking about large slabs of meat 3 times a day. In fact, many people thrive on plant-based proteins like legumes, nuts, seeds, quinoa, and fermented soy. If you do eat animal protein, make sure it's clean grass-fed and properly balanced with fiber-rich foods. And then there's movement. Such a key part of this story. Bones are living tissue. They are constantly being broken down and rebuilt, and that process depends on weight-bearing exercise. I tell people all the time, the best bone building exercise is the one you'll actually do and do consistently. Walking, gentle jogging, skipping, rebounding, yoga, And body weight exercises like squats or light resistance training all put pressure on the bones, telling them, we still need you. Stay strong. Without movement, bones weaken. It's that simple. And for muscles, if you don't use them, you lose them. Movement keeps the blood flowing, brings oxygen and nutrients to the cells, and maintains the strength and elasticity of both muscles and bones. Now let's talk about hydration. Water is often forgotten when we speak about bones, but your joints, muscles, and even the spinal discs depend on proper hydration. Dehydration causes stiffness, cramps, and contributes to joint pain. Clean, pure water, not sweetened drinks, not coffee all day, is one of the most important tools for transporting minerals throughout your body. I often suggest people begin their day with 2 glasses of water, one warm with lemon to cleanse the liver, and another just before breakfast to wake up the digestive system. Then sip throughout the day. Your body knows what to do with it. Let me also speak a little on sleep. The deepest bone building happens when you sleep during the night. While you rest, your body releases growth hormone and starts the repair process, not just in your bones and muscles, but in every system of your body. So it's vital that you get good, consistent, restful sleep. Aim for early nights and a regular rhythm. Avoid screens before bed and instead opt for a calming routine, a warm bath, gentle stretching, or a cup of chamomile tea. Your bones heal when you are still. And lastly, I want to mention stress. Chronic stress releases a hormone called cortisol, which in excess can actually break down bone and muscle tissue. High cortisol also leaches calcium from the bones and impairs digestion, making it harder for your body to absorb nutrients from even the healthiest meals. This is why I encourage daily practices like deep breathing, prayer, meditation, walking in nature, and limiting exposure to distressing media. The mind and body are not separate. What affects one affects the other. So yes, sesame seeds are marvelous, but don't just rely on one seed to rebuild a body. Let that seed be your daily reminder, a symbol of the many beautiful natural elements working together to restore your strength. Whole foods, sunlight, movement, rest, water, peace. These are the foundations upon which strong bones and muscles are built. And the most wonderful part is this: it's never too late. Whether you're 60, 70, or even 90, your body is always listening, always adapting, always responding to what you give it. So give it the best. Build not only with food, but with lifestyle. And your body will thank you every single day. Sometimes, one of the saddest things I hear over and over again is when people say to me, Barbara, I'm too old. It's too late for me to heal. Sometimes my bones are too brittle now. My muscles are too weak. What's the point in trying? And my heart aches every time I hear it because it simply isn't true. You see, the human body was designed by a very wise creator, and this design includes an extraordinary built-in capacity to repair, rebuild, and regenerate at every age, right to the very end of life. I always remind people of something many of us forgetting. Every single cell in your body is constantly turning over. Sometimes your bones are not the same bones you had 10 years ago. They are always being broken down and rebuilt. Your muscles are renewed as well. In fact, about every 10 years, your entire skeleton is replaced. Isn't that remarkable? Even in your 70s, 80s, or 90s, the body is still in the business of renovation. The only question is are we giving it the right materials, the right rest 3 times, and the right conditions to do that sacred work? I've met so many people over the years who felt hopeless about their health until they learned this truth. I remember a lady in her mid-70s who came to one of my health retreats. She could hardly walk without pain because her bones were so fragile, and she had suffered multiple fractures over the years. She looked me straight in the eye and said, "Barbara, sometimes, is there any hope left for me?" And I said to her the same thing I'm saying to you now. If you are alive, there is hope. Together, we gently changed her lifestyle. Just small, daily steps. We started with nourishing foods like sesame seeds for calcium and magnesium, 3 times plenty of dark leafy greens, daily walks in the sunshine, and deep, restful sleep. She added gentle stretching to rebuild her muscle tone and practiced calm breathing to manage her stress. Within a few months, sometimes, she was standing taller, her pain was easing, and her scans showed improvements that surprised even her doctor. To have 3 times, that's magic. That's the body doing what it's designed to do when you give it what it needs. Healing is possible because the laws of nature never change. The same sunlight that strengthens the bones of a child will strengthen yours. 3, sometimes the same minerals that build strong skeletons in young people will build yours. And sometimes the same oxygen in fresh air that energizes a child's muscles will energize yours too. But here's the key. Sometimes we must trust this process and be patient with our bodies. Sometimes we expect a quick fix. Sometimes we live in a world that sells instant solutions, a pill for every symptom, a surgery for every problem. Sometimes, but true healing doesn't work like that. True healing is a process. It's gentle, steady, and built on daily choices. 3, sometimes. I often compare it to gardening. If you plant a seed, you don't dig it up every morning to see if it's sprouting. You water it. You keep the soil healthy. You make sure it has sunlight. And nature does the rest. It's the same with your body. Now, I know some of you are thinking, but Bara, I've done so much damage. I've eaten poorly for years. I didn't exercise. Sometimes I didn't know better. And to that I say, you did the best you could with the knowledge you had at the time. 3, sometimes. Now you know better. And when we know better, we do better. There's a wonderful saying the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today. It's exactly the same for your bones, your muscles, sometimes your heart, your whole body. Don't waste energy regretting what's past. Focus on what you can do today. Another beautiful truth that's small. Consistent changes often produce greater results than big, dramatic ones that you can't maintain. So don't overwhelm yourself with a long list of health rules. Start simple. Add a tablespoon of sesame seeds to your breakfast. Take a daily walk in the morning sun. Sip pure water throughout your day. Choose more green vegetables. Go to bed a little earlier tonight. 3, sometimes, deeply when stress comes knocking. Every small step counts. Bhikkhu have 3 times because every small step nourishes your remarkable ability to heal. 3, sometimes. It's also important to remember that healing doesn't always mean you'll have the same body you had at 20. Sometimes healing means less pain, better sleep, stronger muscles, steadier balance, and a sense of energy you thought you'd lost forever. Sometimes, 3 sometimes, it means your bones strengthen enough that you can keep gardening playing with your grandchildren, sometimes, or walking in the park without fear of falling. That is healing too. And it's worth working for. Sometimes I want you to hold this truth close to your heart. The body loves you. It works for you day and night, even when you sleep. It never gives up on you. So don't give up on it. Give it the tools it needs. Real living foods, clean water, fresh air, a daily movement, good rest and peace of mind, and you will be amazed at what your body can still do for you, even now. So sometimes if you hear that voice in your head whispering, it's too late for me. Remember this: as long as you draw breath, you can nourish, rebuild, and strengthen your bones and muscles. There is always hope. And every step you take today brings you closer to the strength, freedom, and vitality you deserve. I often say to people, our health is not something you visit now and then. It's something you live every day. And when it comes to keeping your bones strong and your muscles firm, sometimes, especially as you move through your 60s and beyond, it's not about grand gestures or complicated regimes. It's about simple, steady habits you weave gently into your daily life. Little choices that become second nature. So that without even thinking about it, you'll have three. Sometimes you're building and maintaining a strong, resilient body every single day. One of the first habits I encourage people to develop is the habit of a nourishing breakfast. You see, your body has been fasting all night, sometimes using that time to repair, rebuild, and clean house. When you wake up, it's ready for fresh, living fuel. Sometimes a breakfast rich in minerals sets the tone for strong bones and muscles. Imagine a bowl of warm whole grain porridge sprinkled with a tablespoon of sesame seeds, some crushed nuts for extra magnesium, sometimes a drizzle of natural honey, and perhaps a handful of fresh fruit. What a powerful, sometimes gentle way to feed your body exactly what it's craving. Real food, minerals, real energy. Sometimes another simple habit is to make greens a daily non-negotiable. Sometimes it doesn't have to be complicated. A handful of fresh spinach or rocket in your omelette, a green salad with lunch, sometimes a side of steamed broccoli at dinner. These humble greens bring in calcium, magnesium, vitamin K, sometimes, and countless phytonutrients that work hand in hand to strengthen bones and keep inflammation down. And if you can grow a few greens in pots or a garden bed, even better. Fresh picked greens are bursting with life. And I may have 3 times. Then there's the gentle daily habit of moving your body. Sometimes you don't need fancy equipment or a gym membership. Nature gave you everything you need. 3, sometimes a brisk walk around your neighbourhood or a gentle stroll through a park, sometimes feeling the sun on your skin. That alone is powerful bone medicine. When you walk, each step sends a message to your bones. Sometimes stay strong. We need you. If you can add in a few simple weight-bearing exercises like squats, heel raises, sums, or a bit of light resistance training with bands or small hand weights, you'll be amazed at how your muscles respond. 3, sometimes do it in your living room, your garden, or even while waiting for the kettle to boil. Sometimes the key is consistency. A little every day is far better than a lot once in a while. Sometimes one daily habit I love to see people rediscover is time outdoors in natural sunlight. So many people avoid the sun because they fear it. Sometimes, but small, sensible doses of sunlight are life-giving. It's our natural best source of vitamin D, sometimes which is essential for absorbing all that wonderful calcium from your food. Just 15 or 20 minutes a day, especially in the gentle morning or late afternoon sun, is enough for most people. Sometimes walk barefoot on the grass if you can. Reconnecting with the earth calms the nervous system and reduces stress, which also benefits bone health. Let's not forget hydration, a habit so simple, yet so easily overlooked. 3, sometimes water carries the minerals you eat to every cell in your body, keeps your joints cushioned. 3, helps remove waste that would otherwise burden your bones and muscles. Sometimes start your morning with a glass or 2 of warm water, perhaps with a slice of lemon, to wake up your digestion. 3, sometimes, then sip throughout the day. Carry a water bottle with you if it helps you remember. And choose water first before reaching for coffee or sweet drinks that can rob the body of minerals. Then there's restful sleep, which is one of the great healers. Your body does its deepest bone and muscle repair while you sleep. Good sleep is built on daily habits too. A calming bedtime routine, going to bed a regular hour sometimes, keeping screens and bright lights away for an hour before sleep, maybe a warm herbal tea, a gentle stretch, sometimes a few quiet moments of gratitude or prayer. All these small, gentle actions tell your body, it's safe now. It's time to rest and rebuild. Lastly, cultivate the habit of mindful living, caring for your stress levels as carefully as you care for your diet. Sometimes chronic worry raises cortisol, which weakens bones and wastes muscles over time. So make space every day for deep breathing. Have 3 times a quiet walk in nature, time with loved ones, moments of laughter and gratitude. 3, sometimes. These simple joys are not luxuries. They're medicine for your bones, your muscles, your heart, and your spirit. When you add all these simple habits together, they form a foundation far stronger than any single supplement or pill can offer. Sometimes you don't have to do them perfectly. You don't need to overhaul your life overnight. Just begin. One habit at a time, one small step each day, and watch how your body responds. The beauty of daily habits is that they stack up like little bricks, building you a house of health that can stand strong for many years to come. So every time you sprinkle same seeds on your breakfast, sometimes step out into the sunshine, take a walk, drink your water, fill your plate with greens, or lay your head on your pillow at night with a peaceful mind. Know this, you are giving your bones and muscles the love they need, not just for today, but for every day forward. That is how true, lasting strength is built. One simple, loving habit at a time.